This is Dubrovnik, a beautiful walled medieval city on the Adriatic coast near the southernmost part of Croatia. Its ancient stone walls, rugged coastline, and centuries-old gardens were the backdrop for many filming locations for the iconic TV series Game of Thrones. I visited many of these sites to capture the essence and beauty of the gardens. All of my research prior to the trip could not have prepared me for the reality of Dubrovnik's beauty, scale, and magical atmosphere. Its friendly people, great food and drink, and of course the exotic plants, gardens, and beauty of Croatia's many nature parks and reserves. I present Gardens of Dubrovnik. Wow, the sun rises early in this medieval town. I was awake every morning before dawn to the sound of birds and of course car traffic. Our residence in Dubrovnik was only a few blocks from the old town, which made it very convenient, but it was somewhat noisy. Trying to beat the tourist rush, I grabbed my camera, tripod lenses, and I'm out the door, trying to capture Dubrovnik's beauty as she awakes. Dubrovnik receives about 1.5 million visitors per year, making it very busy, so you want to get an early start. Dubrovnik welcomes the soft morning light at 5:15 a.m. There is no direct sun falling on the city this early in the morning, making the light very soft. It is shielded to the east by the coastal mountains, including Mount Surge, which falls directly behind the city to the east. The temperature is already in the low 20s with a light breeze, and on that breeze is the smell of fresh bread and pastries. There are many bakeries in the area as the many shops gear up for the morning rush. Early customers, some with coffee in hand, are chatting amongst themselves, are now being drowned out by passing traffic. Nothing can prepare you for the sights, sounds, and fragrances. After taking dozens of pictures and videos, I'm struck by the fact I've only walked a couple of blocks on my well-planned 2-kilometer hike. 2 kilometers there, 2 kilometers back, and then meet up with a family for 8 a.m. breakfast. It is the last week of June, and the narrow streets and alleyways are bursting with color. Every tree, shrub, vine, and bulb are trying to outcompete the vista around the next corner. Even with your eyes closed, there are heavenly fragrances to stop you in your tracks. Some familiar, some new and exciting. I saw mass plantings of neon-colored oleander, which please all the senses. In the air, the delicious aroma of towering mimosa silk trees, star jasmine, and honeysuckle. They wave their delicate blooms in the morning breeze, trying to get your attention. There are many palm trees along this part of the Adriatic coast. To my surprise, all of the local palm trees had already passed their flowering stage and have now set fruit. The most common palm trees include Trachycarpus fortunei, the windmill palm, Chamaerops humilis, the European fan palm, Phoenix canariensis, the Canary Island date palm, Washingtonia robusta, the Mexican fan palm, I also found the odd butea and Phoenix dactylifera, the edible date. Every residence, no matter how humble, had a few potted plants to decorate their front entrance or balcony. Built into the hillside, there are many grand stately homes, villas, hotels, with elaborate, well-kept gardens, many of them with obligatory bougainvilleas in many colors, shades, and sizes. I noticed many home gardens, regardless of their size, have fruit trees. The most common of them include figs, citrus, olives, pomegranate, loquat, pineapple guava, and of course grapevines. As I walked past ancient stone walls, I noticed some plants anchored themselves in cracks and crevices, somehow thriving in these harsh conditions with no obvious soil. One such plant with beautiful flowers and fragrance, unknown to me, was the caper bush, Caperis spinosa. I found it growing all over this region and in the most unlikely places. I was so impressed by this plant, as soon as I got home, I ordered a packet of seeds online. Even though this part of Croatia is rated as USDA Zone 9B, I found many tender plants thriving here. This included this hibiscus Rosa sinensis. It had branches 5 to 6 feet long, that's almost 2 meters, and it was new growth, which meant the winters had been very mild. Some of these plants were common to my Zone 5B garden in Canada, yet growing to such massive sizes they were used as hedges, not just potted plants. Many plants in this mild Mediterranean climate grow huge and require little or no attention, such as the agaves, yuccas, and figs have naturalized. They have clearly not been planted here deliberately. They grow wild and look amazing. Here's a brief look at some more beautiful plants and stunning vistas from my all too brief visit to Dubrovnik. Heavy rains in the region just a couple weeks prior to our visit ensured that all the plants are looking their absolute best. Sago palms, or Cycas revoluta, were a popular choice for many local gardens, many reaching huge proportions, as were these gorgeous oleanders and bougainvilleas. For us lovers of palm trees and exotic plants, Dubrovnik will leave a lasting memory. As always, thank you so much for watching, for sharing your time. If you have enjoyed the content, please give us a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment below, I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, happy gardening!